We are live right here. This is the Academy Sports Show. I look real on a desk like it's
Yes,
a
sir.
real news report. live, live at the Academy Sports Show, man. We appreciate you guys rocking with us as always. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We appreciate all the feedback, all the love that you've been giving to the show over the years, especially over the last couple of months on the reboot. We appreciate it. And you see the links below. Man, if you want to get in touch with me or Joe personally, that's our IGs, man. Dre _ on there and at JWill02. And if you want to get in touch with the show, or if you want to know all the modes to get in touch with the show, the best one is right below YouTube, Academy Sports Show. Make sure you like it. Make sure you hit the notification bell, subscribe to it. That way you know when the show is live. You get that prompt that says, hey, the Academy Sports Show is on. I just got mine. Did you get yours? So that'll let you know. And then the comments on the side, they keep coming. They keep rolling. And you can be a part of the show. You'll see how it goes once we get rolling. It's crazy up in here. As well as both of our Facebooks are both live as well. So if you know if it's friends personally, you'll know every 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on Facebook, we go live as well. Make sure you hit us up on IG and Facebook, both at Academy Sports Show, to get updates about the show. And without further ado, I'm your host, Andre Douglas. Sitting next to me is your host, Joe Williams.
What up, everybody? As they were saying, indeed, what up, doe?
Yeah.
We in the building, as always, on a Monday. A lot of stuff to talk about, man. I mean, we had a good weekend. Good sports weekend. It's Monday. We already got 8 people in the feed checking us out. See a mixture of people on Facebook and a mixture of people on YouTube. Make sure y'all say what up. Make sure y'all shout us out. Let us know you in the building. We see you out there, D. Dawkins. Welcome to the show. Man, a lot to cover this week. As always, we got NFL talk. We got NBA talk. We got a lot to go through. But before we get into what the schedule looks like today, let's just cover some headlines from the past week in review. So it's Monday. It's been a whole week since we talked. And since then, little headlines. Did you know that the NHL was in the Stanley Cup playoffs right now? Yeah, as a matter of fact, the Lightning are up 3-2, I believe, in the Stanley Cup finals. So maybe they can clinch. It's okay. Also,
remember when we used to have to do hockey on this show?
We used to have to do hockey, yes. Hockey and baseball. Speaking of baseball, the playoffs are about to begin in Major League Baseball, and they're going into a bubble of sorts, which is interesting because all of these teams are going to now be located in one specific location. I think actually it might be after this first round where they'll be able to really hone in and try to keep people healthy as they try to get things done and move the playoffs along.
Is it an AL bubble and an NL bubble?
It's an AL bubble and an NL bubble, yep.
Okay.
And so it's been interesting because baseball was kind of that first big sport to pick back up. And right away when they picked up, they had some COVID issues amongst teams. Well, they seem to have survived and made it to the playoffs. The season didn't end. The sky didn't fall like everybody predicted. And so it's going to be interesting to see who comes out. I got a horse in the race. The Indians are in. A couple of listeners, D's from Chicago. The Sox are in. I don't know.
Did the Tigers make it?
He's a Cubs fan, though, if I remember correctly. The Tigers did not make it. Detroit sports aren't that good. I think you already knew that, but no,
I didn't.
Okay. So in MLB playoffs, check it out if you're interested in going and getting into some more sports. This is a great time of year for some reason because we've got NBA, we've got MLB, you got NHL and NFL all going at the same time. So what many would call the 4 major sports leagues in the United States are all playing at the same time. So, D just said Cubs and Yanks. Okay, Cubs and Yanks. That's pretty consistent. With typical, you're probably you're a Dallas Cowboy fan too, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I forgot. I remember. You know how those Yankee fans are front running. Yeah, you're a front runner fan. So, what up to everybody in the live feed?
Brand
As
new
we
Chiefs
know,
fan, D. Dawkins, right there.
as we know, Week 3 in the NFL was interesting. We had a lot of fun games over the weekend. It's actually been every week you think it's going to suck because I really thought Week 3 was going to be horrible, and it actually turned out to be super competitive, which I thought was interesting. So you had some. It ended last night. Big game. We saw Packers and Saints. Packers got the dub. Some other teams getting some wins over the weekend. Bills over the Rams, which is interesting because yeah, there was a controversial call that took place in that game that we might touch on. So a lot of good wins, a lot of teams that are 2-0, a lot of teams 1-2, a lot of teams 2-1. So we'll get into that as well as we talk NFL. But just wanted to share a couple of thoughts, a couple of headlines from this past week. Nothing major like a random person getting married to the person that they freed from bondage for 20-some years. But it's interesting. So before we get into the rundown of the show, we got some people in the building today. Just want to run through these comments. Dr. Stu 32 says, "SOL rears its ugly head." Interesting. Same old Lions rears are. They won though. So is that?
They were supposed to lose.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. We got to get some boxing incorporated to the show. D says, You know, I heard some twin brothers are fighting, or they're gonna fight, or they did fight. I'm not huge on boxing.
They're not fighting each other. They're fighting other people.
Is it like the Char twins or something like that?
Something like that. Yeah.
I'm sure D's
no
gonna.
time.
Yeah, D's gonna tell us.
I did watch some UFC stuff today though about some. It's a Trump fighter. It's a guy who be like in heavy Trump gear.
Really?
And he called out LeBron and said he or something like that. And then he got smoked by some African dude.
No, yeah, we're not a political show, so just the irony there. What up, Pops? Stu says the Lightning will win tonight. Hey, Mama.
I believe you.
I believe you too. Maybe D's comment was that he was saying Cubs and Yanks in the World Series. Maybe is his call. I like Stu's pick, Padres and Indians because of the Indians. Our sister is in the building, your biological sister and my spiritual and blood sister, because we black and that's what you call your people. Said we're melting, and the damn Bears are 3-0. Interesting, yeah.
That's the ugly 3-0. That's the ugliest really 3-0.
They're gonna fall off the cliff. They're
definitely hard.
So yeah, so that's it. Dre, what you got for a rundown? Let's talk.
Let's do it. Hey, listen, it's not 7-8, it's 9-28, but I messed up, but we ain't gonna call it out. Yo, the rundown today, man. We got the quick news and notes out of Joel. We're gonna transition to who you got. Talk about some NBA Finals prediction. The finals are now slated to start on Wednesday between the LA Lakers and the Miami Heat. Wow, who would have thunk it? This is your time to come in, Kobe. Who would have thunk it? Monday Night Football predictions. It's a huge game. It's the AFC Championship game we thought we were going to get last year between the Chiefs and the Ravens. Two former MVPs, one Super Bowl MVP, two great teams going at it. So that's great football to watch tonight to kick off a great Week 3, as well as the new segment, Crystal Ball Predictions. Mine is going to be, just stay tuned for my Crystal Ball predictions. It's not a lot of times I do things like this, but I got to do it today.
Oh, my goodness. Okay. Okay.
That and much, much more, because the comment section always keeps us on our toes with different topics. So if you guys got anything to throw in there, let us know, and we will talk about it. Damn, coach defense just scored.
This is a reference to fantasy, because actually Stu and I are playing each other this week, and I had the Colts defense against the Jets, and they gave me 25 points yesterday.
They're a horrible franchise. The Jets are a horrible franchise.
Bro. What a great pick on my part. And then last night I had Drew Brees and Aaron Jones versus what's his name? Come on, from the Saints, the running back.
Kamara.
And every time Kamara went off, I got points. because it was a pass from Drew Brees. So finally, I'm gonna win this week in fantasy football.
All right. I see y'all, man. Appreciate all the comments. And you want to get right into it?
Let's go.
Let's do it. All right.
Who you got?
We're going to play a game called Who You Got. First up, who you got? Bigger upside after a conference finals loss. The Denver Nuggets or the Boston Celtics?
Ooh, this is a good one. Way to start it off.
Both teams, great rosters, good coaching. They just ran the Denver. They ran into. I love the quote by Jimmy Butler yesterday, which was, "Eventually, you got to go through a LeBron James team. Like you in the playoffs, no matter what conference you in, if you want to win a championship, you got to go through a LeBron James team." True. So Denver cannot beat. What up, man? Denver got steamrolled by, well, not steamrolled. They got beat by a LeBron James team. Boston couldn't make it there. They got beat by a good Miami Heat team. Great core. Both teams have great cores, great coaching. But who has the bigger upside?
I'm going to go with the Nuggets on this one. The Nuggets have the bigger upside because, Nuggets had a bigger upside. Ooh, wait a minute. Oh, man. You got me with this one. Okay, I'm going to go with the Nuggets. I'm shaky on this, but I'm going to go with them. I'm looking at what is the probability of these teams getting back to where they were this year or getting further. When you look at the West, LeBron's only going to be around for a couple more years. That team's going to be interesting to see it retool itself because remember, all these guys were on like 1-year deals to try to make this team work.
Right.
The next part of that is with the firing of Doc Rivers today. It's going to be interesting to see in breaking news. It's going to be interesting to see how the Clippers look and retool. We know Houston's never going to really be much more than what it is, but then the Warriors are going to be back to being the Warriors. So we'll have to find out what that team looks like with everybody being healthy. With all that being said, if you look at what Denver did when you had a Warriors team, a Houston team, you had the only thing you didn't have was Kawhi in the West. Denver was still a legit team at the top tier of the West. So I think they have a better chance of getting out of the West, and I think the Celtics do the East because the Heat are for real. Kobe, feel free at any time to make a comment because this show's dedicated to you and you calling Heat in 6.
Throwing that up there to you.
Right. Just he said, "I'm late, but I'm here." There he is. But I think ultimately the Celtics are going to have trouble with the Heat for years to come. And there are a couple of other teams over in the East that can make it a little bit tough for the Celtics. And the Celtics, while they have great coaching, there was something missing about this team. Yeah, they can defend, but to me, Kemba was a liability, which he was supposed to be kind of a part of that three-headed monster. Mm-hmm. And you still couldn't tell, like, who was really the dog on this team. Like, I remember we talked about upside with, we talked about Jimmy and Tatum. His impact versus Tatum and his impact. And Tatum, while he had a good series, he didn't have that series like Jimmy had where he was like, Jimmy's the guy. I didn't feel that from Tatum, even though he had I think statistically had a good series. I didn't feel him take over a game like Jimmy was doing. So until the Celtics figure that piece out, it feels like they're still behind a little bit with the Nuggets. The Nuggets have two bona fide stars, and they just got to get over the hump.
Now here's the thing, like Stu said, the Denver Nuggets has a bigger upside because they upset the Clippers and played tough against the Lakers. But the Celtics had a meltdown. They should have been in the NBA Finals. Kill said the Nuggets. Leonardo says Celtics because Denver have to make some decisions on their power forward contract is up. They need a veteran presence to add to that team. Man, listen. The thing is Jamal Murray a bona fide superstar? I feel like that's a valid question. Like, he had a great playoffs. Don't get me wrong. First round to conference finals, he had a great playoffs. 82 game season. Hopefully next year in front of fans. Is he still going to be that guy? Is he a bona fide? Do they have bona fide 2 stars now? We know what Jokic can do. Jokic is a walking 2020, an anomaly, what Porzingis should be, right?
Right.
But is Jamal Murray that guy?
Wasn't he that guy last year though? In an 82 game season. I mean, they got to the Western Conference Finals last year.
They did, but I feel like it was more on some Miami Heat stuff, like a team kind of vibe. Like,
okay,
they missed Gary Harris the first round, like he was hurt. Paul Millsap is aging. Like you said, the power forward spot is kind of iffy. They got the young boy, but he still had to get his feet wet. I feel like Boston has less pieces to get than Denver. And here's why I say that. I feel like Denver is a wing away from being scary. Like, I don't know if Michael Porter Jr. is that guy. Michael Porter Jr. in this NBA might be their 4. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But, like, their other wing situation, old boy who got hurt, who just came at the end, like, their wing situation is non-existent. The Celtics,
Michael Porter Jr. is legit.
But I'm thinking he's a 4, though.
Okay.
I'm thinking he's a 4. I think he's a stretch 4. He's what, 6'9", 6'10"? In this league, that's a 4.
Okay.
So, and with Millsap going, you get rid of that cap. You still got him on a rookie deal. You can find I think it's harder to find a good wing to add to that situation. That is a good wing. A garlic butter wing is good. It's hard. But the Celtics are a good center away. Like, Tice, he did okay. But once Miami figured out that he was barbecue chicken, Adebayo went at him the whole game in that last game. Like, they were going around him. They were letting him set the screens. Like, but once they figured out this dude can't hold your job, Bam just went at him the whole game and closed that game out. So is he a starting center? I don't think he's a starting center. I think he's a rotational center. They didn't even use Cantor. So that's somebody on your bench that you're not even using. I feel like they're a Bam away. Like, you got to find a versatile center that can hit the mid-range and to protect the paint rather than this guy that can just really set picks and catch lobs. So I think that guy may be a little better to find than a dynamic wing to go with Denver. So I'm thinking maybe Boston has more upside because they got two and a half killers. Because I think Tatum's a killer. I think Brown has made some great shots this series. And then Kemba offensively is a good player, but defensively, like you said, he's a liability.
Yeah.
And Marcus Smart stepped up too. Like, I remember we used to bag on Marcus Smart.
Yeah, we did. Deservedly so. But yeah, we did. He's gotten better.
Yeah, he's got leaps and bounds better. Derek says Celtics have major issues. They Smart thinks it's an equal opportunity offense, and Kemba is just pain awful defensively.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. Like, it didn't feel like there was a takeover moment for the Celtics. Like, you could tell what the Heat wanted to do. You could tell if it was we're going inside and we're going to dominate the paint, or if we're going to be shooters tonight, or we're going to let the hot guy get hot. Like, it was, you could tell where they were going. Mm-hmm. I was waiting for Tatum to have that moment where it was like, all right, everything runs through Tatum, whether he starts with the ball in his hand and he gets people involved, or they find a way to get the ball in his hand to where he's taking the shot, he's forcing the issue. It just didn't make sense to me. Like, offensively, I did not understand what was happening with this team, and I think it caught up with them because they just had no rhythm. Like, you just keep shooting. Everybody, like, Smart, you're not a shooter. Just keep shooting threes. Like,
Well, he was hitting them there for a minute. Like I don't want to bag
It's
on
one
him,
thing
but
to
I was
hit him
like,
there for a
he
minute,
was killing him.
but you're not that though. Like that's to me was the Celtics issue. Like they were hitting threes, so it was like, all right, let's keep shooting threes. But y'all not that though. So then when they started missing them, they just kept shooting them.
Do you think they have too many of the same person? Tatum, Brown, Kimba, Smart, Gordon Hayward. Like, does this team lacks an identity?
It lacks offensive identity. Like they defend well, right? They're all athletic. They're scrappy. They got that mindset. They dig in. They'll play you tough. But where's the person that kind of is the glue? Who's the glue person? Is it your point guard? Is it the center? Is it like if you go out and get another athlete? Yes, you guys are going to still be an athletic team. But who's the guy that calms you down and puts you in a set? Who's the guy that pushes? Who's the Rondo on the team? Ironically, he used to play for Celtics. But who's that guy? Like Kimba's not that guy. Kimba's more like he's the scoring point guard, right? He's not even the control point guard guy where he gets his shot when it comes to him, but he gets everybody else involved, or he could take over.
Maybe he needs to scale his game back because he shot some crazy shots too, like looking for fouls, just jacking.
And he didn't shoot
stuff.
well. He only shot like 28% from the field or something crazy like that too. Yeah. So again, he has that one move, the step back, short range jump shot. So I don't know. It just they don't feel together to me. They feel like a bunch of good guys on a team with a great coach, but they didn't figure out the together. And I think it was easier for them to target, like when LeBron was in the East, it was we're gonna go at this guy. I don't think they had an answer for Miami as a whole. Mm-hmm. Miami hit them from every possible angle that you could hit them from, and they just couldn't respond.
Got you. All right. So Joel says Denver. I say the Celtics, bigger upside after conference finals loss. Two great teams. Looking forward to seeing them next year. We got Denver, Celtics.
Yeah, I think we're split.
Denver.
Oh, no.
We got Denver
more Denver.
Yeah, it looks like it's more Denver. Celtics need some hard work players. Go into work. That's a Detroit phrase right there. Yeah. All right, next who you got? The last who you got. Try to keep it short this week because we got a Monday Night Football game to watch.
That's right.
Who you got? Joel already hearkened to it. Doc Rivers fired as the Clippers head coach. So better job for Doc Rivers, or just better job in general. What do you think? The Houston Rockets or the Philadelphia 76ers?
Well, since I like to bag on them all the time, I'm going to stick with it. And I say you go to Philly, go to the East, go where you look like a leader of men. And you can and you can also maybe, go back to the old, harken back to the Philly, the 76ers Celtics rivalry and, going back east. But, man, take the Philly job. The Rockets job is, listen, I don't want a team with Harden and Westbrook on it. They're horrible. Come on, y'all. Like, can we stop believing that this is really going to produce something? This is going to produce
peg, round hole.
Yes. It's going to produce a fifth seed every year that's going to lose in the second round of the playoffs. And then we're going to keep on getting on Harden like we expect something out of him when we know he's not going to win a championship because he doesn't defend. And no matter the narrative, this year statistically he was one of the best defenders in the bubble. Okay. They're playing small ball with people 6'8" and under. They're not going to win. Now, does that change? Yes, probably, right? New coach, new personnel. But come on. He can't fix Harden. Oh, God.
Kobe says he can fix Harden. Doc can do it. If anybody can do it, Doc can.
Listen, tell me, this is what I would say. What's wrong with Harden? If he can fix Harden, what's wrong with Harden? What, he doesn't play defense? Doc Rivers is going to get him to play defense? Is that what you're saying?
I feel like D'Antonio ruined him. Like, I feel like he loved D'Antoni because he just let him do whatever he wanted to do. Like, score more points than them. Got it, coach.
Oh, man.
So now when you actually get a real coach in there that wants you to do sets and play defense and have an identity offensively other than you dribbling out the ball for 20 seconds and then jacking up a shot, I feel like he's going to get major pushback. I feel like Harden's going to get major pushback. While you have Embiid and Simmons, this is a young duo that hasn't sniffed anything, really, to be honest with you. At least Harden and Westbrook have had some kind of individual success. They've had some playoff success. Embiid and Simmons have had nothing, like no success whatsoever. And they only known Brett Brown. So for them to transition to a new coach probably be a lot quicker, a lot easier than two wily veterans who's going to push back on everything.
Yeah,
so I agree. With Philly. I go with Philly too.
Yeah, all day. It's mixed. Stu says take the Philly job because working with Ultra Brand is going to be easier than working in Houston. I agree there. Akil says Sixers, Russ is a liability in NBA. Simmons is still an asset because of his size, skill, and age, and a mature Embiid could be a top 10. James says Houston. Kobe says Harden needs a coach that's going to dog him. Derek says the better job between the two is Philly, but both are trash jobs. No roster flexibility. Good point.
True.
Yeah, neither roster has neither one of these rosters have a lot of flexibility. Yeah, I think I'm on the Philly side. I mean, if you want to talk upside too, the upside's in Philly. Houston, they are who you think they are. Okay, let's be clear. Like they're gonna get there every year because you're gonna get somewhere with two guys that people consider top 15, top 20 players. You're going to get there every year to the playoffs, but you're going to lose every year. So this team isn't winning a championship. Philly's got a better chance to get out of the East than Houston ever will to get out of the West. I say you go there, Doc, and be a leader of men. Love saying that.
Such a great tagline. Such a great tagline.
Leader of men.
Yeah, I think this is pretty cut and dry for the both of us. I love, if you think Houston, just elaborate a little more. Let us know why you think Houston, because right now it's really Kobe trying to cape up for him. Philly has something to work with. Nothing in Houston. Nothing. Two former MVPs ain't enough. No, I'm with you, bro. Nothing. Nothing. Like, let's imagine Anthony Davis resigns with the Lakers. Like, the Nuggets are still the Nuggets. Like, both of these teams have great 4-5s. You know, you can call Anthony Davis a 5, but he wants to play the 4. They have great bigs, and all you got to do is go against Robert Covington and PJ Tucker. I mean, PJ Tucker's like 36 years old, and you got him playing center every day. Like, that doesn't work. Like, at least get somebody athletic that can play the 4-5 position. You just got this 6'5" guy down there in the post trying to deal with, like, he doesn't even look like a center. Like, he's the smallest small forward can be. And you got him playing center.
And then the funny thing about that is they try to sell you on the idea that they have to be this way. Like, we have to play like this. No, you don't. Go out and get some good players that are taller. That's what you should do. No, you built this team like this. You're an analytics focused front office.
No,
you don't have to do this. Don't try to sell me on that crap. Go out. If I was a Houston fan, I'd be pissed. Oh, we got to play like this just the way our roster is. But you built it.
Yeah, the pick and roll with Capella was working. He was a liability towards the end of the game because he couldn't shoot free throws. So I see that. But then you just make a contingency for that. But that's to have no big on your roster. Carry Tyson Chandler and don't even give him no minutes. Just he's adjusted in case of emergency center, which you never broke the glass on. They said we lost sound on Facebook.
On Facebook, yeah. That's not good. Mm-mm. We can't really do anything about it either.
No, not really. Let me check mine. But, yeah, I would go with Philly. I can hear myself.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe reload. Akil said he can hear us. Leonardo said it's back.
All right, okay. Cool. All right.
So consensus is Philadelphia minus a couple people. Tucker sneakers are cold, James. You are correct. Listen, I'm not hating on Tucker. I'm hating on the position that they put him in. Like, I bet you he would want to be a wing again.
And big ups to him. I mean, right? My man played the position hard, and he earned his check for sure.
Right.
You know, but
and I feel like that roster just needs like a refresh. Like, I feel like Eric Gordon's been on that roster forever. PJ Tucker's been on that roster forever. Like, Austin Rivers gave you nothing. Like, you need more pieces and better pieces. And I don't know. I don't know if Doc Rivers will do that. And before, like, when he got with the Clippers, wasn't he like the GM and the coach, and then he left the GM and
yeah, I think so. Just became
being coach. So I don't know.
I think they got draft picks for him too, didn't they?
Who? The Clippers?
Yeah, no,
he got traded or something.
Yeah, he had traded to the Clippers.
yeah. That's when I realized coaches should get traded.
Yeah.
Like Boston traded him to the Clippers.
Oh God.
All right. Well. All right. So appreciate you guys doing that. Let me cut the screen off. There we go. Go coach your son at the family reunion.
Okay. Stay far away from Houston.
I think Austin ran away from him in that situation. They don't want his dad following him.
Oh gosh.
All right, so let's talk a little NBA Finals. Little NBA Finals talk. We got a great matchup. We got the LA Lakers versus the Miami Heat. LeBron against his old team. Eric Spoelstra against his old player. AD and LeBron versus Jimmy Butler and Adebayo and Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson and and everybody else. Like a team. Yeah, now,
a lot.
LeBron has had troubles against teams, right? Harking back to the Dallas series, Spurs. He doesn't like to go against teams. Other superstars he can take care of. But teams, he's had issues. LeBron returns back to Miami and the place where he got his first championship and when he's going to retire. He'll never go back. Kobe already throwing it out there. Lakers in 6.
Kobe's on a hot streak. Let's go ahead and get this out the way. Congratulations to Kobe Nichols, everybody. I don't know if he was the only person that called Heat in 6, but
definitely the most memorable.
He was the most memorable one. He's very proud. He's reminded us daily in our DMs on Instagram that he called Heat in 6. And so we just want to say thank you. Thank you for contributing to the show. Congratulations. You should have bet. You should have gone. You should have went online and dropped a wager. We hope that you feel as strongly about your Lakers pick here that you just thrown out there, but we definitely want to go ahead and put it out there. Kobe called it, and he's been letting us know every day. So we want to make sure that you get your recognition on the show because that's what we do here on the Academy.
Yep, everything's recorded.
Yep. Because you would have paid for it if they hadn't won.
Oh, yeah. We would have been DMing you. Akil said Bron is focused. Kobe is right. Yeah, this Laker team, I think we talked about a little bit last week, man. This Laker team is definitely focused. They have something to play for, not just a championship. They're honoring the fallen Laker, like a man that the whole league revered as the Mamba, one of the greatest players of the 20th century. And, like I said, LeBron still looks at his jersey in his locker every day. So they definitely have added motivation to win this title. Most and some of the time, added motivation isn't enough. You're playing a better team. Now, the Lakers are favored. They're heavily favored. Like, there's not a lot of people outside the Miami area, the Floridan area, that are picking, that aren't picking in the LA Lakers. Put your predictions in the chat and how you feel about this matchup, bro.
I don't like the overhype of everybody picking the Lakers. I don't like that.
Everybody's picking the Lakers.
I know, and I don't like it because that gives the other team something to play for as well. Unfortunately, I agree that the Heat might just be up against fate this year, and it's just not the best year to get to get LeBron and the Lakers in the finals. Any other year, maybe, but this year with the added piece with Kobe, I think that edge right there kind of almost seals the deal with this situation. It's like you're playing against a higher power in a sense. It's just the weirdness of how things happen and kind of how the universe has a way of lining things up. It might just be too much. Now, the Heat are not going to go away, and I don't think that they're going to get steamrolled. Okay, like don't don't get caught up in the hype of the Lakers are overwhelming favorite, and definitely don't get caught up in anybody saying sweep or Lakers in 5. This is definitely going to go longer than 5, and but I do think the Heat are up against it. The only way the Heat win is they have to be the Heat that we saw in games 2 and 3. They have to be that Heat where your shooters are going to have to make the shots. You're gonna need everybody to be on the stage and be ready. Duncan Robinson on the big stage, Tyler Hero on the big stage, and I get it. You're not on the big stage at Staples. You're on the big stage in the bubble, which I think that's advantage Heat because you don't have to go into somebody's building and win. But they're gonna need all these young guys to be stars. And listen, man. The Lakers are just a lot, and I don't know if the Heat can overcome that.
Yeah, here's the thing though, like the Lakers have to play great team defense, like to stop Duncan Robinson and Tyler Hero. Danny Green is a waste of $10 million a year right now. KCP, he can defend, but can he do it for 48 minutes? Rondo versus Dragic, like the whole team has to play defense. Like this isn't a team that relies on slashing. Like they can shoot the ball. So AD in the paint or Dwight in the paint, it's kind of a moot point at this point. Y'all got to be able to defend the perimeter. So you're required to have the others. This is the LeBron James others discussion right now. Can these guys defend this team that can shoot well? This is a team that's proven that Jimmy Butler doesn't have to get 35 a night to win a game.
Right.
Like Jimmy Butler can get 20 points, and then Bam can get 25 points and 16 rebounds. Tyler Hero can get 15 points and 6 assists, and Dragic can get 14 points and 10 assists. Like this team just wanes on you because they just keep going, and their rotation is really short. So I want a great series, and I feel like we'll get a great series. I am not in the business. If you ever listen to this podcast or show or anything that I've talked about sports, I am not in a business of going against LeBron James. So unless you're the Golden State Warriors with Kevin Durant. Those are the times that I remember going against LeBron. But in this situation, I think the potential of LeBron and AD winning his first championship ring, LeBron guiding him on how to be dominant and getting his first championship ring. I feel like I'm going with Lakers 2, and I'll give Miami 2 games. So I'll go Lakers in 6.
Yeah, the chat tonight is on point because they can come on the show and say some of this stuff they're putting in the chat because it's 100%. If you've been watching, you can look and tell what the strengths and the weaknesses are for each team. And while people think that the Lakers being the overwhelming favorite is because of LeBron, because of AD, there is a lot of experience in that locker room. There's the Kobe factor for sure. You got to give the Heat some respect because they can shoot the rock. Duncan Robinson, who U of M rep, we got to rep the team all the time. Kobe just pointed that out. But like you said, Tyler Hero, Dragic, Adebayo is no slouch on the inside. And then Jimmy's Jimmy. I don't know about Jimmy not being afraid of LeBron. I don't think he has to be afraid of LeBron. That's fine. But that's a mismatch still. If I'm Jimmy, I'm not saying, hey, I'm guarding LeBron. LeBron's going to outsize him and out-muscle him. There's two different players.
It's going to be Crowder and Iguodala.
Yeah.
Dust off Iguodala for this.
Yep. So I think we're right there. So I mean, at the end of the day, all of the reasons that the Heat can win are the deficiencies of the Lakers, but all the strengths of the Lakers are things that I think the Heat might struggle with as well. I think size will matter. Can the Lakers be strong inside against the defense of the Heat with AD? But can the perimeter be a strong part of the Heat's game? And don't forget the Lakers have moments where they cannot score. It's the most frustrating thing in the world.
True.
And so that to me scares me, which is why I don't think people should be running with the overwhelming favorite of the Lakers. Akil took my thunder. I see the Lakers losing game one.
Mm.
I think the Heat are going to come out steal game one, and then the sky's going to start falling for Lakers fans. Then the knee jerk of every other day NBA, we're going to have to watch a 12-hour cycle of what's wrong with LeBron and all that. So, but I do think the Heat are going to actually get a game early, and it could be game one. But I think ultimately the Lakers are going to win this series in 6 games. So I have the Lakers in 6 as well. Stu said, who's going to guard Jimmy? I think that's a mixture. I think you can go Kuzma. You can go. I think Kuzma can guard Jimmy, but not stop him. I think you can go Rondo, but Jimmy's bigger. I don't think they have a prototypical person that can guard Jimmy.
And on the same tip too, like even Danny Green, he's supposed to be a defensive person. But here's the thing about guarding Jimmy Butler. The way they play basketball, Jimmy Butler not scoring 10 points a quarter.
Right.
He's not averaging 40 points.
Right.
He pick and chooses his spots, and it's really just the fourth quarter. The end of the third, fourth quarter is when he gets to slashing and making plays. So, like, those first 3 quarters, you don't really have to have somebody, like, assigned to Jimmy Butler to shut down Jimmy Butler and hoping to get somebody in foul trouble because Jimmy ain't taking over games like that.
Right.
Miami Heat play team basketball. Jimmy Butler will have 12 points by the end of the third quarter. And then he goes and adds another 10 in the fourth quarter, and that's why his stats look good. So it doesn't have to be one person assigned to him. So 2 things, too. The Heat zone. The Heat zone that they used on Boston, would they be using that against the Lakers? Because they relied on that a lot. Like, once they figured out Boston couldn't figure out a zone, they went to that like 90% of the time.
Right.
And Boston cannot handle that zone. So the Lakers, to your point, who go anemic sometimes, they got to shoot that thing. They got to hit shots. They got to make shots. Rondo has to make shots. KCP, Kuzma, Markieff Morris, those guys have to make shots against that zone because LeBron is going to drive and kick. He's going to drive and kick.
I forgot about him. Morris and KCP. Yeah,
those guys got to make shots. So that's another reason that Miami could win because of that. Another big piece, too, is Spoelstra. Very underrated coach. I mean, you would think in this matchup, he's the better coach. In this matchup between Vogel and Spoelstra, I'll pick Spo.
Yep.
So Spoelstra formulating the defense to stop LeBron, his former player, you would think he had a leg up on that. So like he's seen him, he knows his tendencies, he knows what he would do in situations. So I think like if we're going, superstar for superstar, big man for big man, I think Miami's defense consistently is better than the Lakers. Lakers have periods where they hunker down. I think Miami has better defense consistently, and I think they win the coaching category. So whoever says Lakers in 4, Lakers gonna blow them out, Miami's a good basketball team. And if you know basketball, apparently like our commenters do, you know this is gonna be a good series.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think that the Heat zone could be interesting. I think the difference between Boston and LA is that Boston had nothing to come to the middle of the floor to get the ball and take a shot. Like every once in a while, I think Tice would kind of hit a jumper here and there. But if I'm Frank Vogel and they go zone, then everybody knows there's 2 ways to break a zone. You can either shoot a team out of a zone, which the Lakers don't have shooters like that, or you bring somebody to the middle of the floor and you get the ball to the middle of the floor at the foul line and let that guy be the decision maker, whether he catches it and just shoots that thing, or then the defense starts to break down as people start to attack.
Right.
If that guy's AD, That's a different player. That's a top 10 player coming to that foul line. That's a turnaround jumper all day that he has no problem shooting. Let's
Yeah.
remember game 5, I think it was, or game 4 against the Nuggets. They came out and basically said, "All right, AD, get over there. Everybody else clear out. Here you go." And he scored, I think, the first 10 or 11 points of the game.
Right.
So it's a little different animal when you're facing AD as a big than you're facing a Tice as big. So it's going to be interesting to see. But I agree, Spoelstra's got the upper hand from a coaching perspective, and the Heat are to be respected. I don't see him beating the Lakers in 6 games.
If you say Miami beats the Boston Celtics and goes to the NBA Finals, not surprised. Like I picked Boston, but when Miami won, not surprised. Miami Heat beat the Lakers for the NBA championship, I would be surprised. Like that would be like, okay, like y'all blew it.
Absolutely,
like, played y'all off the gym.
Absolutely.
And another thing too is I want to see their lineup too. Like this whole Dwight Howard plays one series, then because against Houston he's not really needed, but then he plays against Denver because they got bigs, and then now he's needed.
Yep.
What do you do with your bigs on this one now? Like,
good question.
Do you match up AD against Bam after 5? Or do you put in Dwight and then there goes your zone buster right there because Dwight ain't hitting that mid-range jumper.
Nope.
So AD's going to have to play defense because he's got to guard Bam. Because your 4, unless you're putting Kuzma on Bam on defense, that's a mismatch. So I would like to see the chess that's going to happen during this game.
There's
a lot to be happy about here.
Does LeBron have to win this series to cement his legacy as the GOAT of this generation for some people?
Well, listen, he is the GOAT of this generation. He's the best player of this generation.
Or for those who say he's the GOAT all time, does he have to win this series?
All time, nobody gives him that your age group and higher. Me and lower, it's a conversation because we never seen Jordan play live unless he was in the Wizards jersey, right? So,
well, your generation says he's already the GOAT.
He would be 3-8 in the finals, and that's hard to make a case for somebody that's been to the finals 10 times and lost 7 or 8 finals.
So that means my case would be stronger than if he loses, because your generation already says that he is the GOAT.
Yeah, that conversation between him and Kobe at that point. Like we would just okay, Kill is I don't want to throw age out there.
He put it in the chat. He said he's 41. He could argue that he is the GOAT.
Okay.
I'm interested to hear that argument.
See, look at you. You ready? You ready to chomp on it right now? Look at you.
I'm interested to hear it. That's all. I want to hear it first. You know.
Like once you get to a certain age range, and you say LeBron, the Jordan foam comes out of people's mouth. So like this is a hard.
I understand.
But
yeah. So let's save this discussion.
Finals. That's all I'm saying. As the GOAT.
Let's save this discussion for Let's table it because we have a Monday Night Football game to get to.
Okay.
And so let's remember. We'll remember that this is a discussion. If the Lakers win, because I think if they lose, you just said it. It's hard to make him the GOAT, and he lost 7 finals. So that's one thing. If they win, let's go back and have this discussion again. Because we're on a new platform, new situation. I would love to hear Akil say his piece on, hey, I could argue that he's the GOAT now. And I would love to hear Stu with his solid 3 behind Kobe and Jordan. Like, when did Kobe become the second greatest player of all time? But that's another argument, too, for another day as well.
Listen, GOAT talk, man. GOAT talk can go on forever. Talk can go on forever, y'all. Listen,
so we got to table that.
Right. If you're enjoying the stream, you're enjoying the show, share the show, yo. If you're watching on Facebook, just press share. It don't hurt nobody. It just helps us grow and it gets more people in the chat. If you're watching on YouTube, share your feed to wherever, Twitter, Facebook, however you want to do it. Just share. It helps the comment section grow. We're pulling comments from every place. That's what this program does. We can pull comments. If you're commenting on my feed, we see them. If you're commenting on Joe's feed, we see them. If you're commenting on YouTube, we see them.
Happening?
What?
Sounds like something's happening here. There he is. Now you're back. Now, yeah. All of a sudden, we just heard you repeat the same thing about 10 times.
Oh, gee, that wasn't me. Well, make sure you share it and help the show grow, man. Because
we're losing you again. Let me finish your sentence. I think what you're trying to say is, again, make sure you share the feed, make sure you like the feed, make sure you let everybody know that we're here every Monday. You can find us. We're going to fill this thing up. And we promise we will come back to GOAT Talk. And that's what we'll call it. We'll call it GOAT Talk. I'm getting my pen right now so I can write it down. We'll call it GOAT Talk. We'll be back and we will discuss this. Akil said definitely, so you got to make sure he's on the show that night. And then we'll have that discussion. Because, yes, I'm from the Jordan generation. I saw him play. I saw him. I believe it. So, we definitely got to have it. Kobe says he can hear you clear as day. Maybe it's just on my end. Maybe it's my internet. Kobe feeling real strong taking shots tonight because he called the Heat in 6. All right. I think you're good. Go ahead. Let's go ahead. Let's try it. Let's see what happens.
We all right?
I think so.
We okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
See, Leonardo's going.
In the finals.
We got to stay away from it. Don't do it, Dre. Don't do it.
MJ undefeated. Bill has 12. Woo. Listen, we got a Monday Night Football game to watch, okay?
Good job.
Come back next week.
Good teaser.
Come back next week. We will have GOAT Talk. I promise you. I'll make GOAT slides. It'll be GOAT Talk all day. Mark your calendars. October next Monday at 7 o'clock. Bring your Jays, bring your LeBrons, and we're going to have this discussion. Bring your Kobe's, and Bill Russell didn't make no shoes, so just bring your Celtics jersey, and we will have this discussion. Call all your friends. Tell them to come on, too, because we will have this discussion. I love it. I love it. You know what else?
Will be fun.
Monday Night Football.
Yes, sir.
Which is about to come on in a minute. So let's go ahead. These two former MVPs are going at it. Lamar Jackson, Pat Mahomes. Great Monday Night Football. Whatever your football snack is, make sure it is hot, ready, and delicious. I know they say you're not supposed to eat late, but damn, we're going to watch some football tonight, Doc. We got the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Baltimore Ravens, the AFC Championship game. We won it, but we get it right now. Who you got going into this game, Doc? And does it even matter?
It does not matter.
Oh, James, come on. Don't do it. Transition to another GOAT Talk. Jason, Lamar, Patrick, who's the future GOAT?
Oh, man. And Corey said, log right on for the Bron slander, I see.
Oh, man. You came right in time.
Oh, man. Man, I don't know who's taking this game.
I'm picking the Ravens.
Wow, you did that quickly.
I'm picking the Ravens. Defense,
why?
Offense, Lamar Jackson, Mark Ingram, J.K. Dobbins, Hollywood Brown, Mark Andrews. I'm picking the Ravens.
I'm picking. Oh my goodness! All right. You're going Ravens. I'm going Chiefs. I'm going Chiefs.
I want to know what your honest thing. Don't just brother me. You gonna pick the other thing.
I think this game comes down to whoever has the ball last. I know that's cliche, but I think that's what it's gonna be. I don't think the Ravens defense is gonna stop the Chiefs. I think they can contain them better than the Chiefs can contain the Ravens offense. However, because of the Lamar factor and the Patrick factor, I think that doesn't matter. So even if you contain them, that doesn't mean that the that Patrick Mahomes can't overcome that. And we've seen him overcome great defenses. And the Ravens definitely have a great defense. They have the corners, they've got linebackers, they've got D line, they've got a running game that can keep him off the field. So that'll be interesting to see. But ultimately, I think this comes down to who has the ball last. And I think the team that actually has the ball last is going to be the Ravens. I think the Ravens are going to win this game by a field goal. It's going to be a field goal to win it, and I think that's how this game's going to end up coming down. I think we're in for a classic tonight. What scares me for the Chiefs is slow start. That what we saw against the Chargers last week, that kind of got out there a little bit. I think the league is a copycat league, and defensive coordinators saw that, and I think the Chiefs got off to a rough start, and you cannot do that against the Ravens. But I think the Ravens are going to have the ball last, and I think they're going to win on a field goal to win the game. So I'm going with the Ravens. I wanted to pick Chiefs just because you picked the Ravens, but no, I think the Ravens are going to win it on a last second field goal. But man, listen, man. Oh, God, it's going to be crazy. Look at this. These guys are going nuts. Stu says, I'm going with Mahomes, and Mahomes got the ball last. They're winning. Unfortunately, not that sold on Lamar having the ball last and getting the guaranteed touchdown. The good point. I don't think he's going to need a touchdown, though. I think he's just going to need a field goal. And with Lamar, in a late game situation, you can't drop off and just keep giving him the dump because he'll keep taking the dump and they'll go down and kick the field goal. But if you pressure him, you take the chance of losing him in space and then him making a run. And I think that's where it becomes interesting. So I think they end up winning it like that. The better kicker, KC, right? I mean, he hit.
The Ravens kicker is going to the Hall of Fame.
I think
Tucker, he got 10 more. He got 15 more years to play, but
I think the KC kicker's on his way to going to the Hall of Fame. He kicked a 60. What did he kick, a 61-yarder to win it last week?
He
had to do it 3 times.
But I mean, they struggled against the Chargers though. Like the Ravens just been killing people.
True, but was it the West Coast trip? Well, I mean, what are the factors, right? Was it just a struggle game, and they go back to being the Chiefs that they can be? Kobe said 34-31 KC. Leonardo said Chiefs because I want my Steelers to be in first place. I love the way both teams play, but no one has challenged the Ravens deep after they let their Pro Bowl safety go before the season for fighting his teammate. Watch out for the deep ball against the safeties. Okay. All right. The Chargers played Chiefs well over the past. Okay. So, see, that's a factor there. Plus, they're in the same division. You know your division opponents. Tucker's a beast. I agree. I'm not saying he's not. That's why they're going to win the game on a field goal. But that kicker, KC, is a dog. Chiefs can start slow. They were squaring off with Taylor Herbert mashup. They'll be ready this week. Mahomes doesn't lose big games on the road. Ooh.
Hey, that's dope. I mean, he don't lose big games. That's a good statement right there. I like that statement. He don't lose big games. When it's time for Pat Mahomes to show up, he show up. I give him that. Most definitely.
That's a big prediction, 45-31. Corey, make sure you're back with us next week. You might have to be held accountable for that score.
That's a lot of points.
That's a lot of points.
This Monday Night Football game hasn't been as hyped since Chiefs-Rams, and they didn't let us down at all.
That game was amazing.
The big players came to play on that day.
Hey, actually, remember Rams Ravens too.
Yes,
was stupid crazy.
Big game.
So. So what's your score for tonight? We both picked the Ravens. What's your score?
That's a lot of math.
We got a lot of scores going up.
That's a lot of math. I'm just gonna say you said Ravens by 3. I'm gonna say, oh man.
Did I bell him? Did I bell Corey for 45-31? They're calling for the bell on that one. He said bell that man.
Bold prediction, Corey. Bold prediction. Yeah, I mean, I got to be in the same boat with you because I would have to say Ravens by 3 too. Like, I don't see – it's not like I don't think they're touchdown apart from each other.
Yeah,
you know what
I
I'm
don't see
saying?
it being a touchdown. Yeah.
I hope the refs don't take this out of nobody's hands like they've been doing the last couple games. You know, I want to see a good football game. Like quarterback matchup, man, that's crazy. Running back matchup, you would think Elaire had both Ingram and Dobbins because neither one of them have had they've had good games, but they're sharing a rock. It's all Elaire over there. The receivers, you got to think KC's receivers is better. Is Sammy Watkins playing? If he is he going to be effective? The tight ends, like Kelsey versus Andrews, like Kelsey's a better talent, but Andrews catches more balls. Like,
I don't see the James just said KC 35, Ravens 24. I don't see KC's defense holding the Ravens to 24 points. That's a low number to me, but I'm going 34-31. I think we had that same prediction earlier. I'm going Kobe said that 34-31. I'm going 34-31. I see field goals and touchdowns all over the place in this game, and it's going to ultimately end up being a field goal to win it. 34-31 Ravens in a classic. And I'm going to be honest with you, I have no horse in this race besides the prediction and trying to be right. But at the end of the day,
you kind of do have a horse in the race. You need
the
Ravens. You want the Ravens to lose.
Well, yeah, I do, but at the same time, I don't expect them to lose a division. I'm not trying to win a division. I'm just trying to get in the playoffs. I don't care. I don't care how I get there. A division would be whipped cream and cherry on top for my Browns. I just want the cake. Okay? That's all I'm trying to do.
And the great thing right now, nobody's picking a blowout. James.
No.
Yeah.
James
has an 11-point win for KC. That's probably the biggest one right now.
No, Corey's got a 14-point win.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I don't know what Corey. Yeah, Corey, you might be held accountable for that, sir.
14-point win with 45 on the board.
Ooh. The Ravens' defense is not 45 points bad. So that means you're really saying Mahomes is that guy.
Yeah. He hasn't had a Mahomes game yet, though.
Well, tonight's a good night to have it on the big stage. Saying that about Mahomes is different than saying it about somebody else. Like, he hasn't had a Mahomes game. It's just saying, but that's going to happen sooner or later.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah, so Stu says 34-31 Chiefs. Mahomes to Kelsey with 3 seconds left on the clock.
Highly specific.
Leonardo says 34-24 Chiefs. So there's a 10-point win.
So people that have Ravens? Okay, Akil. Okay, Akil, you got the Ravens too.
Yeah, Akil's got the Ravens. Kobe wants to drink whatever Corey's pre-gaming on. Kobe's got 34-31 KC, and Akil's got 31-27 Ravens. So we're the only three that. And I get it. It's the Mahomes factor, right? I mean, listen, I ain't putting no money on this. I don't feel that. I don't feel that strongly about it. I can tell you that. But
this will be the hardest game ever to bet on.
Yes, it's gonna be amazing, and we're gonna enjoy every moment of it.
All right, cool. Hey, we appreciate everybody in the comment section. Share that, boy, so we can. This show has rewatchability. You feel me?
I like that.
When we upload it up to iTunes, it is aux cord ready. So let everybody know who's your sports show. Favorite sports show right now is the Academy Sports Show, live every Monday around 7-ish Eastern Standard Time.
That's why you need that bell. Get that alert.
There you go. Click that bell. Trigger that bell. You hear me? All right. Now it's time for some predictions. Some
crystal ball
predictions. What will be the headlines going into next week? Something that we will talk about, or just that you think could happen. What are those headlines you think is going to happen?
Well, I'm going to let you go. You're going last because you got some bold prediction that's about to happen. Y'all want to stay tuned and hear this.
It ain't bold.
Well,
I'm just going to do something that I don't normally do. That's
you
all.
Teased it. You teased it really well. So we're gonna have you go last. So the final start Wednesday, right?
Wednesday, yep.
All right, so that means we got Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. So 3 games from now, Next Monday, what are they going to be? This is my crystal ball prediction. Next Monday, we're going to be talking about whether or not the Lakers can come back and win this series.
Ooh, how much they down by?
The Heat will be up 2-1.
Oh my God! Okay.
Next Monday, when we come back, the Heat are going to get their 2 wins in this series within the first 3 games.
Ooh.
So next Monday, we will be talking about if the Heat can go up 3-1 or if the Lakers can come back and tie it 2-2. And do we believe who is the GOAT?
Who is the GOAT?
Because we will be having that discussion next week. And it will be, I think, somewhat hindered by 2-1 lead, Heat. Of course you like that, Kobe. 2-1 lead, Heat, coming in the next week. That's my prediction.
Ooh, that's real spicy. That's real spicy. Give yourself a bell. He know how this show works.
You know how it works, baby. The all-purpose bell.
Oh.
Come on, let's hear it.
My crystal ball prediction. It's something I don't do on this show a lot.
Okay.
Okay. As I get you to share my screen here.
All right.
My crystal ball prediction is I'm going to lose fantasy this week. I was hoping Dennis would be here.
Oh, God.
My crystal ball prediction, I'm going to lose fantasy this week, and I'm going to eat crow because I tried to be too smart for my own good. You understand me? I tried to be too smart for my own good.
Explain yourself.
I drafted Aaron Rodgers as my starting quarterback. I did not play him week 1. I lost week 1. I played him week 2. I won week 2. Mm-hmm. This week he was going against New Orleans. No Devontae Adams. Mm-hmm. I respect New Orleans defense. Mm-hmm. Only projected to do 21. Mm-hmm. And Dennis's team is OP to me. Like Russell Wilson, Ezekiel Elliott, Tyler Lockett, Ertz, like 49ers defense, like, man, he going to get off on me. So I need to go outside the box. I need to be outside the box to give myself a chance this week. So you know what I did?
What did you do, Dre?
I benched Aaron Rodgers. Only supposed to project it. See that projection? 21 points. I said, I need more than 21 points.
Yeah.
Who's on the waiver wire? You know who's on the waiver wire?
Yeah. Who?
Gardner motherfucking Minshew. Thursday night football. Playing the Miami Dolphins. Projected to do 23 points against the worst statistical defense in the league. I said, Gardner Minshew's my man.
Over Aaron Rodgers.
That's my guy.
Over Aaron Rodgers.
Minshew.
Over Aaron Rodgers.
So I said Thursday night, I said, Gardner Minshew, win me a football game. Gardner Minshew gave me 9 points. Aaron Rodgers gave me 30 on the bench. Right now, the score would be whatever it would be. Me in striking distance, and I would still have Tyreek Hill tonight.
Sir, wait, go back up. I'll tell you what it would have been. Hold on. Okay. It would be
so 114 minus 9 plus 30.
Yeah, 114 minus 9 is 105 plus 30. It'd be 146 to 135.
So I would be down, what's that, 11 points?
Yes. With who playing
Tyreek
tonight?
Hill still to play.
Oh,
versus his kicker. Versus the kicker.
Oh, that would have been nice.
That would be in striking range. That would be. It wouldn't be. I wouldn't be totally out of it. That's still striking range.
Yeah, because Tucker could kick a couple 50-yarders like Mason Crosby did last night, and I beat Stu. Just want to keep taking shots at Stu this week because I have the mic. I can't. I'm gonna get my first win. But yeah, you would have been in striking distance. Yeah,
I would have been in striking distance.
I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for this moment.
So my crystal ball prediction is I'm gonna lose.
But wait a minute, sir. Listen, your crystal ball prediction is supposed to be about next week when we come back. You
and
just
that's
did it.
when we come back. I'm gonna be 1-1-1.
You just predicted what's gonna happen today.
That's my prediction. My crystal ball prediction is I'm an ass, and I should have just played Aaron Rodgers because I drafted Aaron Rodgers and just go with who I went with, and stop being cute and just run with the team you got. I had to eat crow on that one because that was crow worthy. That was crow worthy. I'm gonna eat that one. I'm gonna let everybody know.
I'm glad. I'm proud of you.
I did a bad thing.
We need to argue. So I'm proud of you because you put yourself, on the spot right there, and you did text me and ask me my opinion. I gave you my opinion. I've had that dilemma before, although differently, trying to decide do I play Aaron Rodgers against the Vikings in Minnesota. That's always a tough game, but besides that, yeah, Aaron Rodgers is a must play every week. You just don't, you never, you have to, you do learn to ride with your team. Like I started the season off by losing my first 2 weeks of fantasy, especially the second week where I lost by 1 point because Drew Brees decided to suck that night. And, nobody could.
Waller went off overnight.
Nobody can stop Waller. Like y'all can't bracket and double team this guy and make him throw it to somebody else. But that's neither here nor there. But this week I said, you know what? I put Tyler Boyd back in, and I said I'm riding with who I drafted, and we got us a dub. So I get it. Kobe said he wasn't sure who to start either. He said he chose between Brady, Big Ben, and Deshaun. That's a tough choice. He chose Brady. Said he chose the GOAT. We need to argue that too.
I tried, I went Edelman over Hollywood. So if Hollywood go off tonight, I would have had Hollywood and Tyreek playing tonight.
Ooh. Yeah.
Yeah, Kobe, we weren't supposed to tie. I was supposed to beat you. I want you to know that. So I made the first league, right? We made the first league that had bugs in it. People couldn't get in. I was supposed to get in. I set that league up. I did all the rules and everything myself. And on the tiebreaker, it was supposed to be bench points. It was bench points on the first league. I had to delete the first league, make the second league, make sure everybody got in. I forgot to switch that part from tiebreaker to tie to bench points. I scored more bench points than you. I went to sleep that night knowing I was going to see 1-0 the next morning. I woke up. It was 0-0-1. And then I realized my mistake. So I chose to be a good commissioner and not just go change it so I can go get a win.
Integrity.
Good job. How it is, because that would have been unfair.
Good job. Integrity. You see, let's appreciate the commissioner.
I took the tie. It shouldn't even been that close. I was down by 2 with freaking Steven Gostkowski playing Monday Night Football, and all he had to do was make one doggone field goal.
He made one that night.
4 field goals and an extra point.
But he did make the game winner. Hey, did you cut him after that?
I cut him immediately.
Hey, yesterday he made 5 in a row. Hey, your Lions won yesterday. All right.
Okay, yeah.
The Browns won yesterday too, so it was good. Browns, good job winning games you're supposed to win. I like that. The Lions are doing what they normally do, win games they're not supposed to win. Instead of just losing and getting sunshine next year, you're going to end up with 1 win and you're going to lose to another team that's not going to win, like the Atlanta Falcons, who can't seem to hold a lead in the fourth quarter. If the clock was already at 0, they'd still lose.
Can I go back to bagging on Matt Ryan again?
Yeah, you actually could do that. You actually could do that. Oh God, Nick said, "Go Lions, roar!" Ugh, horrible.
Oh, away Lions. Go away Lions. How about that?
Packers won last night. My second favorite team. Good job. So it's been a good all in all good weekend. All along. Hey, SEC was back. Oklahoma Big 12 can't defend anybody. They lost. But the SEC was back. All the teams that you were kind of expected to get dubs got dubs, except for LSU. But
yeah, they got
it's a different year, so we'll see
Their whole team got drafted. Like,
right.
Of course they would lose.
Right. So we definitely got to start talking some college football. So we will do that. It's 8:16 on a Monday night. 4 minutes until kickoff. One of the greatest games on the schedule is about to take place. We appreciate you guys joining us in our live feed. Before we go, we got to give a shout out to our sponsors. But before we do that, we'll let you know. Follow us on IG and on YouTube. Follow us on IG at Dre_on_air, or follow me at JWill02. Or you can look us up on YouTube at Academy Sports Show. Make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you do all of the above. Click the subscribe button, the bell, all those things, so you can be with us next week. We hope everybody in our chat joins us next week. We're talking GOAT. We already put it out there. We're talking the argument of the NBA greatest of all time. Kobe says we need to talk about another GOAT in regards to Tom Brady. I'm not sure you get much of an argument from us on this show. We agree that Tom Brady is the GOAT when it comes to the NFL, but there could be an argument there. I'm sure there's some other folks in this chat that might feel differently. But as always, you can follow us on Facebook, also on the Academy Sports Show, or on our individual pages at Joel Williams or at Andre Douglas. So before we go, though, we always got to give a shout out to our sponsors, and that is who, Dre?
Mr. Mike Bonds Plumbing. Bonds Plumbing, both licensed and insured, provides top quality services at great prices. Whether it's just getting up to cold waterproofing or daily home services, we suggest you call the man.
313-304-7786.
BondsPlumbing.com. Gives you a map of all the areas that they service, as well as these services that they provide. It's getting cold out there. We suggest you call the man.
313-304-7786.
That man right there is the real Patrick Mahomes, the real MVP.
Nice job.
And if you want to be a sponsor on the show, or if you just want to have
you see that connection we had right there?
That's you want to be a sponsor on the show, a contributor on the show, you got a blog, a podcast, anything, or you're thinking about doing something and you want to get a jump start, we are willing to collab as always. You saw Sports Dad Steve was here a couple weeks ago. You'll probably have him back in the next couple weeks to discuss the maybe this GOAT talk or just the NBA Finals, but we definitely love collabing, man. So let us know. Shoot us an email. You see it down below, academysportshow@gmail.com, or you can DM us on our IG pages, Dre_on_air and at JWill02. But with that said, brother, great show. Appreciate everybody in the comment section.
Yes, sir. Great show. Thank you, Akil. Said the same thing. Salute. Yes, sir. Hey, we'll see you guys next week. Y'all come ready, come prepared. Don't come in here talking that mess. Come ready to back up your statements. And Corey, I hope there's a blowout tonight, because we're going to call you out on that.
In your way. Enjoy the game.
Talk to y'all later.